Hi folks, Vitaly here from HelpingHandAffiliate.com. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is showing you how I personally create my Google ads with affiliate marketing intent, and just basically give you a template of how to create these ads on your own so you get lower cost per click and basically get targeted clicks to your ad and increase your chances of making sales. So the first thing that I want to show you is just a snapshot of my last 30 days report on Google Ads. I got over 2,500 clicks on my ads. I spent about $500, an average cost per click of 20 cents. If you know anything about Google Ads, you'll know that it can be very, very expensive, so spending 20 cents per click is actually like amazing for people. There's different ways that you can do affiliate marketing on Google Ads, and there's people that recommend that you create a one-page site and just send a whole bunch of traffic to it for a specific niche and then collect their email list and then promote high-ticket products. There's other people that recommend just promoting high-ticket products right off the bat. Those things work, but you do need to have a lot of money. You need to have a lot of experience to do those strategies. And the one that I'm sharing with you is very simple, because what I typically do for Google Ads and affiliate marketing is I'll select a product that's very popular, that pays me somewhere like 20 and above in terms of commissions, and one that I do know a lot about in a niche that's very popular. And typically what I will do is I will create an ad that specifically reviews that specific product. And what happens is that when you review specific products on Google Ads, the cost for advertising those kinds of ads for specific products is much lower than if you were to advertise for something like how to lose weight or how to get six-pack abs. Those things will typically cost you a lot of money, like dollars or several dollars per click. That's not good if you don't have a lot of money to invest. When you create Google ads that review specific products, your cost per click goes down significantly. So this is a great way to kind of test the waters of Google Ads if you're new. I don't recommend doing this if you don't have any money to invest in this, because this is not a guaranteed strategy. It does take work. In my particular case, here's actually a snapshot of some of my clicks and sales and all that kind of stuff. I don't really show my ad groups here because this is private information, but this kind of gives you a basic summary of how I do these things. I get very high CTR on my ads. Where it says conversion, some of them convert really well, others do not. Some like this one over here, 318 clicks and 0. I'm going to have to update this one, but generally speaking, conversions and sales that I get are pretty high overall. So the strategy that I'm going to be showing you is a reflection of that. Now, before I continue and actually show you how I create an ad using a blank base template, I do want to say that this video is actually part of a longer tutorial that I've included a link to below this YouTube video, which will take you to the actual post, which is this. It's actually called How to Profit from Affiliate Marketing with Google Ads. And that kind of gives you a wider view of how I personally look at this subject. This particular piece of the strategy goes into the details of how I set up the ad. So I do recommend that if you're new, for example, that you check out the link below this video. That'll take you to that tutorial, because this video in many ways is meant to be used alongside that tutorial together with it. And so what I'm going to start off by saying is that for this video, I'm going to choose a specific product. It's basically an ebook on ClickBank that talks about how to get your ex-girlfriend back. I chose this because I did read through it. I think it's a great quality product. It pays me somewhere between $20 and $30 per sale, so it's a pretty good commission. I do know a lot about the subject, and overall it's also in a niche that's very popular, because there's a lot of people around this world that want to get their ex back. So you typically want to pick niches that you know a lot about, that you know very well about the product, and that it's in a niche market that you know is going to be popular. Once you do that, you can find products. In this case, it's called The Magic of Making Up. You can find it on ClickBank. Once you click on that here, you click on promote, and this one will pay me about $29. Now, after you pick your product, it can be on ClickBank, it can be on something else. Just make sure that it's something that you know a lot about and love. This is really, really important. But once you pick it, the next thing that you want to do is you want to create a landing page which reviews that specific product. I do have a sample one that is over here, and this is with my affiliate links, and this is the page that I'll be creating in Google Ad that'll be sending clicks to that particular page. So now that I have that, I'm going to head over to Google Ads, and this is where we begin with the creation of the ad. I'm going to click on New Campaign, and on this first page, I'm going to click on Website Traffic for where it asks me for the objective. For the next one, I'm just going to click on Continue. I'm not going to touch any of this stuff. Then it's going to ask me for campaign type. I'm going to click on Search. It's going to ask me for the website or the business thing. I'm going to copy and paste this, put it over here. Then I'm going to click on Continue. Now it's going to ask me for a campaign name. I'm going to say Magic of Making Up Campaign. This is just something that's going to make it easier for me to remember it. Now, this is very important. Where it asks for networks, see how it says search network is checked and display network is checked? I'm going to uncheck display network. This is really important because if you leave display network on, your ads are going to be posted on blogs and other places that host AdSense ads, and many of them could be completely irrelevant to what you're looking for. All I want in terms of traffic for this ad is people who know what the magic of making up is. Super duper laser targeted traffic, because that's the most buyer friendly traffic that I will get. So now that the only one is selected is search network, I will scroll further down. I'm only going to choose United States and Canada. Whatever it is that you choose to promote, whichever countries you know it's popular in, you can select them individually by clicking on enter another location. But in this case, I'm just going to keep it to United States and Canada. Languages, this is fine. It's default selected to English. Audience segments, I do not even touch this. And the reason why is because the way that I set up the ad, only the right people that know about the magic of making up will see it. And I'll show you how that works in just a moment. But going back over here, now it's going to ask me for my budget. Now this is really, really important. I typically, for starting campaigns, will set my budget to about $20 or $30. It's not a lot, but it's very important that you set it low, because what happens is that the higher you set your daily budget, which is how much you're willing to spend in a day, the faster Google Ads will spend your money. So you have to be really careful. You have to be very, very cautious about how much money you put in the beginning. So I put in a very little bit that I'm willing to spend in one day, and then if it does well, then I will increase it. So a good starting budget for me is $20. So that's what I typically keep it at. Don't ever advertise or spend money that you're not willing to lose in PPC networks or Google Ads. This is not a guarantee. Google Ads can be a very difficult place to work with, but it does have a lot of profit potential, but it's not guaranteed. You have to understand that. Moving forward, bidding. It's going to ask me, what do you want to focus on? Here's where I click on clicks. And then I click on this button over here where it says set a maximum cost per click bid limit, and I will set it to 20 cents, okay? So for each click that I get on this ad, I am not going to spend anything higher than 20 cents. This is typically a good place to start. Moving forward, I'm going to skip this part, go to save and continue. It's going to say saving. And then I'm going to go to the next step of the ad creation process. And on this one, it's going to ask me for the ad group. So I will typically write the name of the ad group, something like, magic of making up page or something like that. I can also make it the exact same name as my campaign. It doesn't really matter as long as I recognize it and remember it for what it is. Now, keywords. This is super duper important. Keywords, okay? Now here, it's going to actually give me a list of auto-generated keywords, which are actually pretty good. I mean, giving Google Ads credit here, they do pick some keywords that are pretty relevant. However, they're giving me keywords associated with how to get your X back, not necessarily the name of the product. And I just want to advertise under keywords that are related to the product, so my costs are really low. In the future, if I want to advertise some sort of, niche topic about how to get your X back and then tie that in, I'll be doing that. But I do need a higher budget for that. There's much more competition, more ads running. I want to keep it low where there's less ads, less competition, so my costs are really, really low. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to take all of these keywords and I'm going to remove them. And once I remove them, now I'm going to enter in the keywords that are only exclusively associated with the product that I'm trying to promote, which is the magic of making up. So I'll type in things like magic of making up, MOM, which is the abbreviation of magic for making up, magic of making up review, magic of making up scam. Does magic of making up work? What else can I do? Magic of making up legit. Now I've only selected 6 keywords, but sometimes that may be more than enough. Even one keyword that targets the name of the product, if it's super popular, you're going to get a lot of clicks for that as well. You don't need a million keywords to advertise under. But here's what's very important to understand. Once you have your list of keywords, I'm going to highlight all of them, I'm going to copy them, and then I'm going to make 2 different versions of them. And the first version, I'm going to put quotes around all of the keywords, and this is very, very important. I'm going to explain why in a moment. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the second version, I'm going to put brackets around it. Okay? So why am I doing this? Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because when I create a list of keywords and I put one of them with quotes around them and one of them with brackets, I'm targeting what's known as phrase and exact keywords. When you target keywords and you have no quotes around them or brackets, it's very risky, because what's going to happen is that, for example, if I was to target magic of making up without any quotes or keywords, making up, I would get my ad up for magic, just the word itself. I could have my ad show up for, and these are irrelevant. So if somebody were to see my ad for how to magic of making up and they typed in magic, they wouldn't be interested in that. So when I put quotes and brackets around it, this doesn't mean that somebody's going to go to Google and type in quote magic of making up end quote or brackets magic of making up. They're literally just going to go into Google and they're going to type in things like magic of making up review, and my keyword, because it's signified under the quotes and the brackets, it's going to appear for them. So this is very, very important to make sure that you get targeted traffic, okay? Now after that, I don't need to create a new ad group. I'm going to click on Save and Continue. And then after that, we're going to see how long this takes. Hopefully not too long to load. I think the next part is I'm going to have to create the ad. Now, while this is saving, I don't know why it's taking so long. Sometimes Google Ads has this situation. They will sometimes give you a preview of how many clicks you're expected to get. I usually don't take that seriously, because very often the expected number of clicks that you get versus what you get in reality are just two different things. Sometimes Google will do its best to tell you how much it predicts you'll get in terms of clicks, but I would not use that as an indication of how many clicks you'll get in real life. So anyway, now we move on to the third part of the ad creation process, where we can actually create the ad. Now here's the thing. Make sure that the final URL is the correct URL, because sometimes if you have other campaigns and other ad groups, they may put the link of that other thing that could be a completely different promotion in this area. So make sure this is correct. Next, I will not touch any of this stuff over here. I'm going to go into new headline, and I'm going to make 3 of them. Now you'll notice that there's 6 spaces here. Is it 6? No, 7 spaces. I don't really want to make a long ad. I want to make it simple, but I also want to make it very comprehensive. And again, I'm only interested in getting people that know what Magic of Making Up is, which is the book about how to get your ex-girlfriend back, to see my ad. What Google Ads forces you to do is you need to have at least 3 headlines, okay? And you'll notice there's a pin over here on the right. I'm going to show you why that's important. You get 3 headlines at least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Magic of Making Up Review. And you'll notice that I have space for up to 30 characters. I'm going to click on the pin, and I'm going to click on position 1. Okay, so that's going to tell me that no matter what, Magic of Making Up, see in the preview it shows up in the first headline area, okay? Then in the next headline I'm going to say, here's a full breakdown. And I'm going to click the pin again, but this time I'm going to click position 2. Okay? So now if I look at the preview, see Magic of Making Up Review, here's a full breakdown. Let's see, what can I do for the third one? I want to make this a pretty compelling ad. So I'm going to say, here's a full breakdown. Does it really work? Okay. Actually, it's too. You know what? Let's just try this one. Does it really work? Okay. Then I'm going to click on the pin again, and this time I'm going to click on position 3. And now my ad shows up over here. Does it really work? Magic of Making Up Review. I can fill in the rest of these, but I just don't recommend it, because sometimes more is not better. You want to keep your ad simple, to the point. Magic of Making Up Review, boom. That's it. That's pretty much all that I want people to see. And Google requires that you have at least 3 pinned headlines. So I don't worry about any of that. I don't touch any of these. I just make it a minimum of 3. Now I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to forget this part over here, and description. I have 2 lines for description. Does the Magic of Making Up really work? The answer is yes. Here's a full review. Okay, this is a pretty good looking ad. Now typically what I recommend people do is, and by the way, Google will tell you if your keywords are in the ad. What I typically like to do is I like to include the product keyword in one of my headlines and once in the description. That's very important because when people see your ad and they type in the keywords for which your ad is supposed to pop up for, which is the product, it's going to appear bold, and that's easier for the eyes to see. So in this case, Magic of Making Up is in one of my 3 headlines up here, and it's in one of these over here. Now once I'm done with this, I'm going to click on Done, and I'm going to click on Save and Continue. Okay. Now after I click Save and Continue, it's going to tell me if I'm ready to go, and from there you can actually publish the ad and go from there. You may have a situation from time to time where, for example, over here, where it's going to say no traffic expected, and they're going to ask you to fix it. So what they typically want you to do here is, this is kind of, sometimes they say there's not enough traffic, but there really is. What they want you to do is they want you to add more keywords that are a bit more popular, and that'll make your ad appear. Now sometimes what you want to do is you want to add keywords that are extremely broad and then remove them once the ad is published because you just want the specific keyword. So here I'm just going to type in how to get your ex back. I'm not going to put any quotes or brackets around it. I just want to have something over here that makes it say clicks a day 11 versus 0 before. I'm going to click on Save and Continue. It's going to take me back over here. Just a sec. All right, Save and Continue. And see, the following issues might negatively affect your performance. You could get up to 8 more clicks. Again, they're going to give you these cautionary things because they want you to spend more. They want you to target more keywords. Don't worry about it. So then I'm going to click on Publish, and once I click on Publish, I'm going to go back into my ad group, and I'm going to remove that last keyword, how to get your ex back. So I'm only appearing for the keywords that show, you know, the name of the product. It will be enough to get clicks. I've seen this before. It happens again and again. But if you run into that issue that I did towards the last part of me creating that Google ad, just know that that's how you fix it. So anyway, that basically summarizes how this is done, and you can use this as a template to promote whatever you want, as long as, you know, it pays you really well. Again, I highly recommend that you check out my tutorial that's underneath this YouTube video. Perhaps you're on my page right now where I'm embedding this video. If that's the case, welcome. I do help people out with affiliate marketing. I teach people to do this. I recommend a program to them that's helped me personally do that, and you can get more information about that in the description of this video as well as on my website. If you're new to affiliate marketing, if you're trying to succeed, I do hope that this video has helped you out with that. One last thing I do want to say is that if you don't have money to invest into pay-per-click or Google ads, don't do it. If you're a beginner affiliate marketer and you have very little money to spend, you should be doing something else, and I do help you out with that on my website. So be sure to check that out. I hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions about this stuff, do let me know. But other than that, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, comment, questions, whatever the case is, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.